Hey, good morning. How y'all doing? It is Well Red Beard. It is a damn fine day to talk about a book, and I'm going to adjust my mic settings. How's that? Is that better? I always forget to do that. Anyway, we're here for a book review, and today we're going to talk about the very, very short novel, not very, very short, but short novel, The Vessel by Adam L. G. Nevill. This is my third Nevill read, but it is my first in a long time. I read The Ritual back when it came out, and then, of course, watched the film on Netflix when that came out. Pretty good. I've also read House of Small Shadows, which I don't remember a lot about. I remember not liking it as much as The Ritual. But yeah, this book's a bit different because I read the notes at the end of the book. It's about 150 pages long, and then there's some notes at the end that kind of talk about like coming out of the ritual, coming out of his involvement in that being shot as a film and whatnot. He kind of got into writing screenplays. Like actually took a break from writing novels and like went back to school to learn how to write screenplays. And this was originally written as a screenplay along with a couple other books. There was one like Cunning Folk, I think it's called. But anyways, this is a screen, and it's been optioned or whatnot, but hasn't actually made it. I don't. Well, at the time of this, so this was a while back, so maybe it is a film now. But anyway, and then translated that to a novel or converted that to a novel. This one came out in 2022. It says so. Yeah, but this is a cool horror story, and I gave it 4 stars. I really liked it. So what I was trying to get at though is I think the author alludes to this that the way this started as a screenplay and then developed into a novel. It's action packed, man. It reads like a movie. We lose a lot of that character development, a lot of that internal character dialogue stuff that I mean, you can look at it how you want to. Maybe that's a good thing or a bad thing, but for this particular book, it read like a good thing. It's got a lot of folk horror elements to it. I mean, again, Adam is a British author, so this is it's got ancient British gods slash cults slash witchcraft slash folk horror type stuff. But it's all subtle until it's not. Had definitely feelings of the Wicker Man, of Midsummer, stuff like that. So yeah, let's get some synopsis and then we'll talk a little bit more and we'll get the hell out of here. A watcher may remark that after sleeping for so long, the building appears to have been roused. So again, cool setting. I'll get into that. This might get into that. Struggling with money, raising a child alone, and fleeing a volatile ex, Jess McMachin, her last name, I believe, is only mentioned one time in the entire book, and that's why I haven't actually figured out how to read it. McMachin accepts a job caring for an elderly patient, Flo Gardner, a disturbed shut-in and invalid. But if Jess can hold this job down, she and her daughter Izzy can begin a new life. Flo's vast home, Nerthus House. It's weird to pronounce too. Nerthus, Nerthus. Nerthus House may resemble a stately vicarage in an idyllic village. I can't read today, but the labyrinthine interior is a dark, cluttered warren filled with pagan artifacts. And Nerthus House lives in the shadow of a malevolent secret. I told you I can't read. A sinister enigma determined to reveal itself to Jess and to drive her to the end of her tether. Not only is she stricken by the malign manipulation of the vicarage's bleak past, but mercurial Flo is soon casting a baleful influence over young Izzy. What appeared to be a routine job soon becomes a battle for Jess's sanity and the control of her child. It's as if an ancient ritual was triggered when Jess crossed the threshold of the vicarage, a rite leading her and Izzy to a terrifying critical mass where all will be lost or saved. An eerie folk horror novel from the author of Cunning Folk, The Reddening, The Ritual, No One Gets Out Alive, and the 4 times winner of the August Derleth Award for Best Horror Novel. Yeah, so folk horror. And yeah, so she's in a cool setting, a vicarage. I meant to look up what a vicarage is. Um, but it opens with a thing that kind of talks about the bird's eye view of this place. First, it opens off with a Walt Whitman quote: "I believe that something unseen is also here." Um, but it talks about I'm not going to read this whole thing, but it talks about the circular look of this place from top down, like that's in the very first chapter. So yeah, so Jess is a caretaker for Flo. I guess that's Flo. Uh, who is a dementia patient who we believe cannot get up out of her chair, and we believe that, and just stares looking out the windows at the garden and a grove out past the garden every day, and she goes there and she realizes very very quickly that if she gets too close to Flo can be violent. I mean her old uh, atrophied arms and hands can still, reach out really quick. So, again, some misdirection on where the evil actually lies here. And I won't go really into depth there. But of course, Jess is a single mother and she has to do this night shifts. She has to go there at night just to bring her daughter along with her. And when her daughter's there, Flo seems to change, seems to awaken, seems to I mean, she is enamored with Jess's daughter. There's a lot of just creepy elements that come out of that. Again, this is a big house, mansion-like house. But Flo, over the years, is a bit of a hoarder. I mean, so there are parts of this house that are just stacked with stuff, and that brings in an aspect of claustrophobia, and like almost like there are tunnels through junk in this place. A lot of, like I said, a lot of cultish ancient artifacts, that we find in and around the house, and we're all trying to figure that out. Now, the weird thing is before I read the story notes at the end of this, I would have said this should have been at minimum a 300-page book. I mean, there was so much more I mean, we talk about her volatile ex-husband. We could have had more there. We do not, I mean, Flo is this odd creature with, we assume that she's, near death, but we assume that this woman, with the artifacts and with what manifests throughout the book, we assume that this was a powerful, powerful woman at one point in her life, and we don't really get any backstory there, which again, um for the flow of this book and for the movie like qualities of it, that was, I mean, I normally hate flashbacks. I mean, I guess, I mean, that's hard to say. I mean, it just depends who's writing them, I guess. But anyway, we don't get a lot of that stuff. So like when I finished this, I was like, man, this should have been a longer book. There were so many areas of this story. I mean, literally like 4 or 5 different areas where I was like, I could have had more of that. But then I read the notes at the end and read how it started as a screenplay, and I get it. So, um, yeah, this is a really, really cool folk horror novel. And I used to have um, rules about what I called a novella, and I believe anything under 150 I called a novella. I can't remember. I don't know what the actual rule is, but this one's 149 pages, right on the dot. It's the best horror novella I've read in a while. It might be one of the best true horror books I've read in a while. I mean, I've kind of hit a few horror duds here recently. So, but yeah, I really enjoyed this. I really enjoyed The Ritual by Nevill. I can't remember much about the other one. I remember I liked it a little bit less. But I've got another book of his and I think it's right here. I'm not gonna dig for it though. Got another book of his. I picked these up at an International Book Project in Lexington, Kentucky, which is, I go there to shop for books, but rarely do books that kind of um come from my 3 years of like solely reviewing horror. Rarely do they just show up there on the shelf. So that was kind of cool because these like had signed book plates with them and everything. Yeah, I really enjoyed this. It's 4 stars. It's folk horror. Think Wicker Man. Think Midsummer. Think uh, uh, feminine power. Think um, all those things. Yeah, The Vessel by Adam L.G. Nevill. 4 stars from me. This has been Well Read Beard. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you're enjoying all your books, all of them, as much as I am. If not, you're reading the wrong damn books.